Blog Talk Radio.
The motherfucking saga continues.
Yo, what's up, world? It's badass thuggin' like I usually do, and you better turn it up, bust some speakers out, cause we off the motherfucking cuff. You dig how we do it? Dog Pound Gangsters 2000 and beyond. Bless.
What's up with it, y'all? Man, don't change that down. This your player partner, the legendary Cocaine. And you tuned in live to Off the Cuff Radio. Better not touch that down.
Yeah, this is Cassidy, the hustler. And right now, you listening to the Guillotine. Show them the respect they deserve, man. Off the Cut Radio, man. Y'all already know how they doing it, man. I need y'all to stay tuned. They've been doing it for years, so show them the respect they deserve. And you heard it out of bars, mouth. Easy.
Keep it moving like this. Yo, this your boy Rampage. You're not rocking with the best. With Off the Cuff Radio. Classic. History. Fix your face to all you haters. We off the cuff, baby.
What's up, everybody? This your girl, Bonnie Dollars, the Queen of Trap, representing Crenshaw, and you are now tuned in with Off the Cuff Radio. What's up? What's up, y'all? This is Miss Irresistible, giving a shout-out to the livest show on Friday nights, Off the Cuff Radio, and I'm live from the 704.
I bet that pussy was jumping on tonight, man.
I've been selling dope since 6th grade. Graveyard shifts at temp agencies, just trying to get my rent paid. Pimp shit, I've been the sensei. You can catch the Sean Kemp fade. I like my noodles al dente. The cloth I'm cut from was Kente. Kaiser Permanente. Killer with the wordplay. You ain't even get to third base. R&B thug, I rap in first place. And I'm a gangster per se. I'm rocking first ace. Treated your bitch like a sperm bank. Thought I said we never cuff them. And that's no discussion. You better make her clean the whole crib after you fuck her, man. I come accustomed. Don't touch it. And I'm kinda blushing. Why you the man if you sucker punch him? Hey, what's wrong with these busters? I've been a hot boy, that's probably how Tunchi felt. And them CEOs never owned a Gucci belt, but they cars lavish. You ain't fucking with my dreams, I'm looking far past you. Kill them with the sarcasm. And the flowers reminded you why we needed rain. You'll never be the same, but that's okay because you needed space. Can't never say that I played you cause we was different people. Can't never say that I played you cause we was different people. Can't never say that I played you cause we was different people. We was different people. Can't never say that I played you cause we was different people. Can't never say that I played you cause we was different people. Can't never say that I played you cause we was different people. We was different people. Cutter, what up? Yeah, bitch. Spotify paid for this, never had to play a bitch. All I did was give a dick. All you do is talk the pimp shit, but you ain't living it. Puffy with the Benjamins, did it. Can't stop, won't stop, bank shot, post up, they feeling this. Been all them countries and you still a bitch. I don't wanna hear the shit, spilling it. Fuck boy hated on me, cock block, gin and them. Sentiments, sabotage my shit from beginning in. Now my record spinning them, and you're so mad, shit, but we ain't finna go there. Ha!
Yeah, live and direct, Off the Cuff Radio, episode 670, man. We almost 30 away from almost reaching that 700 mark. I'm your host, King Eric, the Media Assassin, and this show is sponsored by Screwball Radio, Da Vinci, Buddy Boy Entertainment. Got my host T-Max and the Facts on the line. What's good, my man?
What's going on? Another faithfully fantastic Friday evening. We are so pleased and happy that you have chosen to spend your evening with us on the most excellent of the incredible frequency, Off the Cuff Radio. Shout out to our co-host of Spirit, a lot of Sandman, Lady Chinchilla, and Dirty Basement Radio, extraordinary DJ Sincere. And we are ready to get it going. King, tell everybody who we got tonight.
Yeah, first of all, big shout out to the Carly.com, man, for putting me up to this guy, man. And name of that website, Dap City. This guy come here representing Chi-Town, one of the best up and coming inspiring MCs up there, man. And I was like, look, I gotta reach out to this guy, man, because he's bringing an organic feel to the table, man. And on top of that, coming from Chicago, home of Twista, Kanye West, Crucial Conflict, and a gang of others, I feel this guy represents that new breed of energy that's needed for the game. So it's only right to bring him on the Off the Cuff Radio, man. So let's all welcome Chris Crack, the 670.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How y'all doing, man?
What's going on
good,
with you,
brother?
man?
What's going on, man?
Look, Windy City Wonder Kid is what you are, representing the shy, staying fly, man. It's great to have you with us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So so obviously, as King said, your hometown and the pedigree that comes from it. Kanye, No ID. Ludacris, I believe, was born in Chicago before he came to Atlanta.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot there. Let's get to it. Tell everybody about yourself.
Man, I'm changing the way people listening to the music, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm from the West Side. I just gotta let that be known because I was in New York last night and niggas was thinking I was from all kind of places, man. You know what I mean? So I don't know where they got that from, but it's all love because it just mean they can't pinpoint me. You feel me?
Yeah, man. One thing about it, Chicago breeds champions and resilience. We look at the Chicago Bulls and the dynasty they had, and we look at, Shot Simeon, especially with one of their most distinguished alumni, legendary Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you all have, over the past 30, 40
Hey, T,
plus
hold up. I
years.
think your sound is kind of muffled a little bit.
You talking about me?
Wait, hold on 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay, hold on.
That's me, I think. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Y'all hear me?
We hear you.
Yeah, that's much better.
Yeah. The sound when you was playing the music and shit, it was cutting in and out. Or it was going low and high.
Yeah, man. So in terms of it, so obviously, like I said, for the past 40 plus years, Chris, Chicago has repped itself lovely in the game, giving us so many legends and indelible, incredible. What was your beginning in it, and who inspired you?
Probably who inspired me was like Wayne, man. Wayne for sure. That's why that guy that made the comment about Wayne, I ain't gonna say nobody name.
It's okay.
Nah, he was crazy for that, especially how his music sound. He crazy as hell for criticizing Wayne. And I did hear the comment in context, but it was still like, come on, bro. You don't have no grounds to even make any type of statement other than saying Wayne's the greatest. Other than that, you don't have no grounds to criticize damn near anybody, for real. But the internet gives people a mouthpiece.
When we think about it,
what's crazy? What's crazy about that scenario, y'all, is what's crazy about that scenario to me is that, dog, you said it though. We heard it. So what you mad for?
Yeah, and he trying to double back and shit. And like tell, oh well, I meant this and I meant it's like, bro, you don't have the grounds to speak on Wayne at all, bro. Like, period. Unless you saying he was the greatest, or unless you was saying, you know, I like this style or he influenced me. You don't have no right to speak on dude. When your music sound like how your music sound, it's like, nah, bro. You can't speak on 2010 Lil B. You feel me?
The bass god.
Oh, he brought a Lil B.
I'm saying like 2010 niggas, he was way ahead of his time, right? So like people thought Lil B was damn near crazy at that time. It was like, what the fuck is this nigga doing? And it turned out, you know, later on it turned out, okay, I see what he on, I see what he was doing, I see what line he was pushing. But it's like, dude shouldn't be talking about nobody's music. That's he shouldn't be talking about nobody's music.
Yeah, that was the biggest troll job that Lil B ever did at that time, because he could really rap. But he did the weird shit and it worked for him. Yeah.
When we think about that run that Wayne had in the mid 2000s, whether, and you know, we discuss this all the time on the show with any artist, whether you were a fan of Wayne or not, the impact and the influence he had was undeniable. That dude had like a good 4 or 5 year run where he really dominated the charts. I get where LaRussell was coming from in the sense of what he felt like in terms of subject matter, but then again, I don't think we listened to Wayne from a perspective of him going to deliver us some powerful, inspirational, but he made great music that we could all party to and we enjoy.
And plus rap was different. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. Rap was different. It's not like, it's just like comparing Dr. J to Michael Jordan. It's like, you can't do that. You can't compare eras. You know what I'm saying? And these new niggas get on here and they say things about like things that you had to be there for, and it's just like, bro, you can't. You're not. You know what I'm saying? You weren't there, bro. You can't speak on these things. It's just like there should be a cap on what people could speak on, because then they create these narratives, and then now you got people online like, yeah, Wayne, he really was kind of whack though, man. You know, it's like you might have thought that, but you would have never said it if somebody didn't gas you up, type shit, you know?
When we think about how hip-hop, how rap music, Chris, over the years has changed so much, because we're breaking it down in that particular 2005 plus area, what is known as the snap trap era. You know, Soulja Boy, Jeezy, Gucci, you know, you could throw Jim Jones and the Diplomats in there in terms of what was going on with that. You know, Ray J, Young Berg, all of them were in that era of doing what they were doing. And it was definitely a good time, party time. The club nights were legendary. King and myself, we will tell the younger generation, y'all just had to be there to understand how lit it was in that time. This is pre-internet, of course, in the sense of really marketing music. Facebook, Twitter, I don't think came until King, when did Twitter come in? Around maybe 2009,
2009.
Yeah, but that's when it got popular. It was around in 2007.
Got you. Okay, yeah. So we're looking at how music was marketed and how even then there was a real organic base that artists had to reach the audience, and Wayne did that. A lot of artists did that back in the day. Transition it now, years later, Chris. Where do you feel the culture is, the music is now, how artists get in, and the means of which they're able to market themselves?
I feel like music is, you know, everything comes back around in life, just period. Everything comes back around. I think it's coming back around to like the early 90s when niggas wanted substance. You know what I mean? People tired of the hoes, cars, and clothes now, which has been which has been for probably like the last 20, maybe 15 years. Niggas tired of that. So now it's coming back around to substance again. And somebody said on Twitter that the new generation of music is trash because they don't read and they don't watch movies. And that shit blew my mind.
Saha said that. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, no, Saha said that they can read and they can put words together, but they're not rapping from real experience.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just a whole bunch of just, especially from a person who's older, who had the experience, to see somebody who doesn't try to tell other people, hey, look at my experience. It's like, no, nigga, you don't have no experience. You not doing nothing, nigga. And a nigga who know, you know what I'm saying? These high schoolers and these, 20-year-old niggas is like, yeah, I believe everything he says in his raps. He rides around with guns and he sells drugs, and it's like, nigga, no. They damn near weren't doing that 10, 20 years ago. Almost weren't even doing it no more, because you know how.
Let alone put it out there publicly.
Exactly. Right. Niggas was real slick about it. I don't know, man. It's. I think it's going back to substance, though.
It is. When we think about how we are older, King and myself, so we understood it. We talked to people who were from that era. We know people that were really living it but didn't talk about it. Yeah. And when we look at how this generation is, we're not the old grumpy men yelling off the roof about how we hate the new generation. We don't. Exactly. We love it. We love anybody who's doing anything to better their situation.
If you're dope, you're dope.
I was just gonna say, dope is dope.
Yeah, exactly. And if you have a creative outlet, my nigga, go ahead and do it. I think we though have to look at it from a perspective of where a lot of these artists though are trying to jump themselves into something they don't totally understand. And that's, to me, where it gets dangerous. I think even for all what was going on in the late 80s and 90s, there was conflicts, but you really had to be in some shit with somebody before it escalated.
Yeah, for real.
And now we're seeing situations, shit gets escalated at the drop of a beat. Dudes just get out. You won't even hear this nigga before you start rapping and he come out saying something about somebody. And we're like, ooh.
Yeah.
Obviously, your style is soulful, organic, creative. It's a breath of fresh air. It's an oxygen of outstanding that we need. Coming from Chicago, you're very welcome. Coming from Chicago, and we know about, Inglewood, Garfield Park. When we think about O Block, Tukaville, 62nd, 69th, it is it's real out there. And Chicago's really been known in recent years for how they get down on the get down when it go down. That's obviously not your trajectory, Chris. What inspired you to bring more of a different vibe and flavor to it?
Just being an outsider, you know what I mean? Just being a person who saw it different, just seeing like niggas just copy what the next nigga's doing, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just not being the guy copying the next nigga. Like, it don't make me special, or, you know what I mean? I'm just not copying what the next nigga doing. That's all. You know what I'm talking about?
And what stood out to me about you was your song titles. Like, the way you title your songs is crazy.
Yeah. Hell yeah, I started doing that because it's like having a great restaurant that's on an old dirt road that nobody know about. It's like a big sign saying, come to my restaurant. And when they get there, they gonna get some good ass food. You feel me?
Absolutely.
Yeah, like some of the titles I've seen, like Michael Jordan doesn't leave comments.
Yeah.
The card declined at the abortion clinic. I'm like, yo, this is wild.
Hey, these are all real titles too. These is all real events, real happenings.
Man, when did you realize that you really had an audience in what you were doing?
A couple years ago, maybe like COVID time. Just realized people was really checking it out, trying to fuck with it. They was interested in the song titles and shit. Like, let me check out, see what dude on, man. And it just grew from there like that. Like, before nigga was cooking up some shit, people was like, yeah, I can, I might be able to get with that. It's kind of different, so I don't know. You know what I mean? But then after, tapping in, like, okay, he's still going crazy. Let me check him out. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Tell us about the first time, the first rhyme you wrote, the first time you went to the studio, and the first show that you did.
Damn. The first rhyme, I don't know, man, was probably the first rhyme I put out was actually a diss track to a guy. I won't say his name because he helped me out later on and shit. But It was a diss track, and the whole hood heard it and was loving it and was like, man, keep going, keep doing your thing, don't stop, you know what I'm saying? The first show was this show that my homies had put together for my birthday one year. Okay. And I was like, man, gee, like I don't think nobody gonna come. I was really like, I don't think anybody's gonna come to this. And they were like, nah, you gotta think positive about it. And I was like, I don't know, I don't think nobody gonna come to that shit. And it was at a theater on Western and y'all ain't from Chicago, right, y'all?
No, we're not, but we're familiar with it.
Yeah, okay. Nah, it was an old theater. I can't remember the name of it right now, but they were about to tear it down, and I was in one of the last couple shows that had happened there.
It wasn't the Senator Theater, was it?
Nah, it was up north. I can't remember the name of it. But yeah. They were about to close it down. They were doing some last minute, shows, giving people discounts on the rates and shit. So through that show, it turned out real good, and I was surprised, like, damn, you know what I mean? And it wasn't just, how niggas just invite their friends and family, and they think like, oh, it's sold out, and they think that's something. Like, yeah, that's something for once or twice, but your friends and family gonna get tired. You know what I'm saying? If real fans gonna come to every single show.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so at one pace where you were like, man, I really want to dedicate my life in doing this.
Probably when I did White Van Music. That's when I had like decided like, yo, I'm gonna do this shit for a living. Like, that's when nigga was outside, doing some other things for money, you know what I'm saying? And I knew I had to make a pivot somewhere. I can't do this forever. You can't rap forever, shit. But like, man, I need to get into, I might want to get into this. It's going well. People keep telling me not to stop. People keep telling me keep going, so I'm gonna keep going with it.
That's dope, man. Especially understanding one thing about Chicago. Chicago has no shortage on real niggas out there. Shout out to Bump J. I mean, the legends like, Booney Black. Man, look, Willie Lloyd, Jeff Ford, Fluky Stokes, and that whole crew.
Okay, my man, I'm from real.
Yeah, I'm familiar with all of that history out there, man.
Yes, sir.
When you think about where you were outside with it, obviously your music is a different reflection. It's a different retrospective of it. With so many individuals in the game right now trying to put an emphasis on how thorough they are in the streets, what do you have to say to those from the perspective of somebody who's really lived it and knows what really goes on and that it ain't always pretty?
People that's really from it, they don't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Because they really lived it. It's not. I'm not sitting around telling you, look, I'm about to go tie my shoe, or look, I'm about to put my shirt on. You know what I'm saying? I just do it, and I never tell you I did it. Just see it on me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the nigga. You can always point the niggas out that ain't really about nothing. That's always talking about, yeah, I'm about that, or yeah, I'm really from the trenches, man. I'm really from the streets, man. It's like, no, you're not. You not. You know what I'm saying? You can just tell. You can just look at them and tell. You like, no, you're not. But it's okay. You know what I mean? But it's so I don't think people realize how easy it is to scope you out when you know what I'm saying, when you false flagging. it's very easy. It's like night and day. It's like red and blue. Like,
man, listen.
It's kind of like you could tell who's an outsider and who isn't.
Exactly. It's like you could tell who fighting and who's never been in a fight.
And even then, them niggas that people may think is soft, but it's like they're not necessarily the ones that want to start it. But if you press them, they're gonna bench press you behind it.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say they're gonna kill you for sure.
Yeah, because certain people, and for those that listen, understand what we're saying. The streets are a very unpredictable jungle that is untamed and wild. Yeah. And you have people that may not necessarily be active on it, but it don't mean they don't know what's going on, and they don't have that hunter instinct if they feel threatened.
Yeah.
Because they're able to adapt in it. When you think about the history, vice lords, conservative vice lords, the GDs, the Latin Kings that started in Chicago.
Yeah.
It's a whole tapestry. Shout out to the Tabiti brothers, Cello and Andrew as well. We had them on last, a year and a half ago. What was in recent years for you, Chris? How do you feel the Chicago hip hop scene has began to blossom and flourish?
I don't know. I don't really. I was asked this yesterday. I don't really feel like it's blossoming and flourishing, and I don't say that from like a hater point of view or from like a older point of view. I say that from just an artist point of view. Like, the art has kind of capped, and it's kind of just a bunch of people just running around with their heads cut off, and I feel like that's the whole industry. No shade to just Chicago. I'm shading everybody. You feel me? Like, it's just a bunch of young motherfuckers like just doing shit, and it's not even cool or original. That's the main thing. It's not cool or original. It'd be different if it was original, but it was like or if it was cool, but it wasn't original. But it's not either one. So it's like I gotta look like the motherfucker hating, like, oh, he just a hater. It's like, hey, you call me whatever you want. That shit ain't cold and it ain't original.
And we know we tied in with the Chicago scene. Do you think the industry is scared of the Chicago rap scene?
Yeah, for sure. And I don't even we can exclude drill. We can exclude them completely just in the conversation. They just scared of Chicago niggas, just period. Because Chicago niggas is just real by nature. We don't have no choice. You know what I mean? So they scared of what we gonna say. They scared of what we gonna do. What A&R we gonna slap for no reason? Well, not for no reason. You know what I'm saying? They scared. No, they terrified of that shit. They're terrified. They scared of anybody that they can't control. And you can't control no Chicago nigga, man.
Nah.
Not no real Chicago nigga, especially like the palm colored people. They want to control us, and it's like, we not going for that, bro. I don't care how much money you trying to pay.
Man, look, when we saw Lil Durk come out back in the day, when we saw Chief Keef, when we saw Lil G Herbo come through, man, it was like it was a whole different energy.
And it's not only that, bro. And it's not only that. It was also a Chicago dude that was the first to call out the 360, Lupe.
Yep. Lupe from the West Side. Shout out Lupe.
Yeah, man. But that's always been Chicago's branding, is that especially I think it was a song called the JGs called Put the Guns Down back in the day. I remember that. But even then, that's back in like 93, 94. For those that really into crates, they'll know that. They'll remember that track. When you think about where Chicago's how Chicago is viewed, do you think that's a microcosm of the game in terms of people rather have that artificial flavoring rather than the authentic seasoning, or what do you feel about that?
Like I don't know, like I just feel like people want to have, you know, just like with a lot of things, people want the good, but they don't want to take the whole thing with it. So they want to pick apart. So it's like people want to love the you know, the summertime shy and the fun times and all this, but they don't want the gang banging and shooting. You know what I'm saying? They want, you know, they want that, like you said, that they want the seasoning that they can pick. They don't want to take the full load. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. I don't know. People are very intimidated by Chicago. And shit, Chicagoans are intimidated by Chicago. So it's like, you know.
Look, even from the sports side of it, I know Billy the Kid Harris, playground legend. I know this was an interview he did years ago for Slam Magazine when they talked about, they had an issue about the greatest playground ballers ever. And he said between the ages of 20 and 30, he would have fucked Mike up. Ronnie Fields, for those who remember Ronnie Fields, he said he challenged Mike to a one-on-one. So it's like, what have you found, Chris, in terms of navigating the industry and just how it works, collaborations, getting your product out, just interacting with people?
Dick sucking to get you a long way, man. And I ain't like Chicago. I ain't going. You know what I mean? So I gotta take the long route. You know what I'm saying? I could have been done what I wanted to do if I was willing to, you know, do a little something strange. You know what I mean? I already got the music. I already got the catalog. I already got the, you know. So it's just like, man, I gotta take the little bit longer route, man. It ain't nothing wrong with it. I ain't tripping on it.
It's that whole playing the game, as they like to say, playing the game.
Yeah, for sure. It's just like building a house. G, I'd rather my foundation be super strong than, you know, just weak. You know, just real paper thin. Like, nah, we building something solid that can't never be tore down.
We got a running joke that we have called the where we use when they try to get you to do crazy things. We call it the doom ship. And yes, Off the Cuff Radio, we coined that phrase. If y'all use it, at least pay homage if y'all gonna say it in the vernacular of the hood. If y'all say doom ship, pay homage to us.
That's right.
What did you find? And we're obviously not asking you, Chris, to out anybody on anything, but how do those negotiations go? And what do those executives usually ask you where you know the shit may go left and you're like, nah, I'm taking the right way out of here?
I mean, man, bro, I'm gonna be all the way honest, man. I had a palm skin person pet me, bro.
Pet you?
Pet me like a dog. And in front of it was in a room full of people, and I had went to meet with these niggas, and they wanted to hear some music, played them some music, and man, one of the niggas, you know, we you know, getting in tune, people tapping in, you know, we talking in the room, and Buddy walk up to me. You could tell he was the nigga with the bag. He walked up to me and petted me. I was like, what the fuck, man? I will knock this nigga. And it was like everybody started looking at me like, what's he gonna do? What's he finna do? What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? And it was just like, damn, I just gotta, you know, of course I can't do nothing, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it was just like, damn, like I see where this could have gone. I see where it would have gone if I would have went crazy. I see where, you know, it's just a lot of fool shit, man. It's just people trying to see like what you willing to give up for, you know, a little bit of money. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, emphasize a little bit of money.
Right. And the thing is, when you said, the thing is, you know, you got to look at the subliminals behind shit like that, my nigga, because it's like, if they pat you on the shoulder, you know, on the back, that's different. Yeah. But when they do that on your head, that's like trying to assert domination and subordination.
Exactly. And they seeing what I'm gonna go for. Like, is he cool with it? Is he gonna knock me the fuck out? Is he, You know, who's he gonna go tell? Who's, you know what I mean? They monitoring all of that.
It's either that or that infamous Suge Knight elbow where he put on your shoulder.
Yeah.
So what's tour
like? A lot of those hints come with the game for real.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's be the niggas that get in that dough that'll never tell you how they got in that dough and what they had to do to get in that dough. And then they'll go and turn around and tell you to, man, just work hard, bro. Just keep working. Just keep working, knowing damn well that ain't gonna work.
Man, look.
Hey, man, you already did the cheat code, brother. It ain't the cheat code we want.
Yeah, right.
Man,
they telling you to go ahead, hit the mixtape circuit, write your bars, go to the radio shows, go to the college shows. Meanwhile, you already in the doom ship and you ain't telling nobody.
Exactly.
Work hard is going to pay off.
Yeah. When we think about it, Chris and King, when you look at, and it doesn't even seem to necessarily be just relegated to rappers. It's these internet personalities, and we just see these people come out, and we're wondering, like, where these people come from? Like,
exactly.
How they get it? Yeah.
They coming from, man, these executives, bro, are putting together fake stories, fake lifestyles, fake, you know, everything for these industry plants, and they're making them seem like these were underground artists, you know, just making it. But these are like engineered cyborgs type shit that they putting in the game and trying to pretend like, yeah, exactly. And I'm glad that it's becoming obvious. It's just like the niggas who you could tell that they ain't never been outside from the niggas that have. It's just like that. The real artist can tell this nigga ain't grinding for nothing. He got a bag behind him, and I see the whole play.
We won't mention this.
Go ahead,
King, go ahead. Yo.
To build off that, let people know what the definition of an industry plan is, because people have different meanings behind it. But in your opinion, what do you think an industry plant really is, or what it represents?
It's just a manufactured artist, man. It's just they take somebody and they make up a whole story about them. They make up a struggle. They make up a grind. They make up a whole, you know, just a whole thing about this person, and then they plant them right where they need them to be, and then this person comes out of nowhere winning Grammys and all kind of shit. You know what I mean? Because they went to Backdooria, like Corey Holcomb would say.
It's interesting when we look at that, because, and I'm not going to say this individual's name on the air, but those that follow us on the show, those who are on IG heavy, they know who I'm referring to. Dude wears a whole bunch of fake jewelry, always stepping off of a plane, but we never see him like actually going anywhere. Always in front of you know who I'm talking about, and always in front of a Phantom.
I think I do, and if I don't, it's funny because that means we thinking of like two different niggas that are doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, but it's like
the point further.
Yeah, but it's like this dude, and the thing, and what's worse about it, y'all, is that this individual, and I'm a jewelry guy, so I can spot it. My GI in terms of gem eye is good in terms of reading those VVS stones and seeing that they dancing like, like disco lights in a good way.
Yeah.
But when I looked at that, I was like, no, I'm like, this none of that chain he got. That chain, if that chain he got on is real, that airplane chain, that chain would be worth. That thing probably be worth at least over $250.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that thing don't even dance. Look, that thing dance about as much as a dead fish that's got harpoons. So I was like, but he be flexing like he got it like that, and People, you know, when we think about the industry plants, there has to be, and I don't necessarily want to get off on a rant, but it's just to make a point. When we look at plants are an exaggerated version of the success that we want to believe that a lot of these artists out here have.
Yes.
And the reality of it is, we've been blessed to do this a lot of years. So we talked to a lot of people. We've said this on the show many a day. We've talked to people. We know who really has money out there. We know who has money, but they got to work like anybody else. And we know people who fronted. And there's nothing wrong with it, because at the end of the day, it's about making an honest living. But when you get out there perpetrating a fraud with no origin story of authenticity that really gives a real denotion and documentation of who you are, how you got in, what's your DNA of your mixtape circuit, who put you on, who did you know, who was in your hood that validates you, then yes, we do, as an listening audience, have a right to ask questions. That's not called hate. That's called investigating and vetting.
Yeah.
To know, have no background search on this guy, and the next thing you know, you on tour with Madonna, and you on tour with Lady Gaga. Like, you ain't got an album out. Like, what the heck?
And it's like, nigga, we never heard of you, nigga. How is you on the Grammy stage and you doing a performance? It's like, how? We never even heard of you.
But it's also too, this is where it gets tricky also, y'all, because when we look at certain artists, and we can say this only because it was put out there, and we're not obviously, coincidentally from Chicago, and this is no shade of Chicago, and we're just talking in general, like with Chance the Rapper. There was a lot of stuff going on with Chance about back in the day, because we saw Chance's run and we were like, he had some dope music, but we were like, how did he jump? Then we found out, which is nothing bad, that Madonna and a few people behind closed doors, they were the ones that kind of gave him that push, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you got that push from people, and Madonna is respected in the hood, that is one white woman that is respected in the hood. I don't care who y'all, if you in the hood, you got a favorite Madonna song. But I know I got a couple, but it's like, it's not a bad thing if somebody who really is respected and is genuine, like she is, co-signs you and helps you along, even indirectly, or maybe just, but when you come in and you're claiming gang affiliations, or that you got a record, one rapper, we're not going to say his name. Who sent you? Yeah, and it's not even so much who sent you, it's just about what are you trying to portray. Like one rapper, we found out years ago, very well-known rapper, but then we found out like this dude never been in jail. Like he tried to frame it like it was like, we found out the story. We were like, this dude we not calling him a fraud, but we were like, he ain't what everything about. Right. He ain't what the story wasn't as how they tried to frame it.
Well, it's a big artist, and I'm only gonna say his name because he's a big artist and it's known information. But they found out that Akon never got locked up. You know what I'm saying? And that he made up that whole story about the car thief ring and all that. And he literally just said, I was trying to sell some records.
Right.
You know what I mean? There were niggas that would have lived and died behind that nigga back then over that locked up song.
Man, yo, Chris, tell him when that joint first came out, how everybody was on it.
Man, like this was the biggest song in the whole world for like 3 years. Yeah. This was the biggest song in the world, and he had this
locked up. They won't let me out. I was like, man, I'm like,
that was like Chain Gang. That was the Chain Gang anthem right there.
Yeah, right,
dude. And then
he never did none of that shit.
Hey, you know what? As soon as the money came, smack that on the floor. Smack
that. Yeah.
But there's a difference between guys like 50 who really was out there, who we can.
Yeah, exactly.
We know 50 got shot. We know 50 served time. We know 50 can fight.
Exactly.
because we know Black Just was the one that financed for 50 to get boxing lessons when he was younger. So I tell anybody, Fifth got a formidable security detail, but you don't want a one-on-one with Fifth. I tell anyone, don't do that.
You don't want to do that. But see, that's the thing. Like you can be from where them niggas, where I can say them niggas, but where 50 is from, and you could be a straight nerd, never been to jail, never done nothing, never did a thing. But as long as you're not portraying that, there's nothing wrong with that. It's only when these niggas are making up these stories like they was in the hood, like they was outside, like they sold drugs, like they've been to jail, and then you find out they weren't. That's where I have a problem. Because you're taking away from the niggas that really did it.
Right. When you look at guys coming from Chicago who were really, really out there. And also, unfortunately, Chris, some individuals, disclaimer on Off the Cuff Radio, we never mention these people in disrespect or dismissal, but we always want to lead. We use this as anecdotals and examples of how street life really is and what can happen when you get out there. When we look at what happened with Lil JoJo, when we look at what happened with FBG Duck, when we look at Fredo Bang and all those guys, what do people really have to understand about the streets and the people that live it and what really goes on, and how, if you're going to rep it, you need to be authentic with it?
Man, if you ain't from there, don't come there. You feel me? And that's you learn that when you a shorty. When you learn that when you 12 years old. You know what I mean? If you ain't from there, don't come there. If you ain't ready for what it come with, it's easy to stay out the streets. It's very, very, very easy to stay out the streets. You know what I mean? And them niggas who portray them lives like, oh, I just, I couldn't help it but to stay, to get into the street life. You could definitely help it. I get that that's what you chose, and I respect your choice. You know,
say it again, louder for those in the back.
You know what I mean? It's just like, man, we gotta stop portraying these false narratives. Like, if that's what you really is, then that's what you really is. But you'll notice that killers don't talk about killing. You know what I mean? Hustlers don't talk about hustling. Niggas that tote guns don't talk about it. Niggas, we can go on and on and on. And the ones that talk about it are the ones that ain't doing it. So we gotta bring it back to being real about what we talking about, and being real about what line we pushing and what message we trying to get across. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. When you look at how the game is marketed now, because we came from a time where hip hop was still going back years, 40 plus years ago, even 35. It was still nascent, so it was not as corporate driven. We had the video shows, the radio stations were independently owned, so we didn't have that corporate influence in the radios and the record companies who were directly involved with it. So the music that was being put out, it was something that was really, really about what was really going on from people who were really there. And then ultimately it was really about, at the end of the day, it was not about who could necessarily, and it wasn't the money put behind like, okay, we're just gonna put, no, it's like, we want the people to decide this. And now it's like, there's so much money that's being put out there to promote these artists that really, it's like they're trash. And it's like, okay, that leaves dope niggas like yourself. It's like, y'all are fighting to get heard where y'all need to be heard.
Yeah.
Where do you think it started changing in terms of how the music was marketed and when it became more corporate?
Man, when white people saw that this was a $1 billion industry, they shifted from whatever shit they was doing. They dropped everything and rolled. You feel me? Like, they saw that, oh, we can make money off niggas while killing niggas at the same time. Like, I say it all the time. Whoever came up with the plan to fund the prisons by, fueling gangster rap music, to, the whole prison, to the whole school to prison pipeline, and then using gangster rap to enforce that and to make it bigger and all that. That was the genius person. I don't know who that person was, but that motherfucker was a motherfucking genius.
Now this is where it becomes a very, very pronounced conversation. Because when you look at it, hip hop in general, the music, the culture itself was born from the streets. So we understand what goes on out there. When we think about, and we want to give our listeners context in terms of the albums that came out in the 90s and how that could be correlated to violence, because this is the thing people have to understand. People look at gangster rap as the cause of the violence, but they don't always look at the effect that was the effect of what was going on in the streets.
Because it ain't really, it's not the music. It's not the music, bro. It's who micromanages the music and how to distribute it.
And also, too, King and Chris, we have to look at it from a perspective, and this is just my opinion. We have to look at it from a perspective like when we think of some of the most explicit albums, where they try to say, 2 Live Crew with Uncle Luke. Shout out to the Legends of Miami. They try to say, the music was misogynistic and sexist. No, it wasn't. It was about having fun. Now, was it a little over the top at times? It was, but then that was for entertainment. Look, I've never heard any Luke song outside of Everybody Dance, but I never heard Luke talk about we gonna rape some women. Luke never did that. No. When we think about NWA, shout out to DJ Yellow. We interviewed him some years back. When we think about Straight Outta Compton, which was a real street album talking about what was going on in Compton, for those that really understand between that and Niggas for Life was a wild, crazy, obscene, and just over the top album. We think about it, that was released in 1991, and we were like, boy, they released that today?
That shit is crazy. Like,
can you
imagine Twitter right now?
But I said that to say, y'all, that the album was not meant to be taken seriously, but it was an over the top guilty pleasure. Yeah. But nobody really was taking that seriously in terms of like, we're gonna go out and rob somebody. But I also think too, in that era of the 90s and 80s, it's variety. We didn't just listen to one thing. We listened to everything. We could hear a Scarface song on the radio and then hear Mika Paris. We could hear Ice Cube, and then we would hear a song by High Five. I'm dating myself with a lot of these old R&B acts, because, and even with the video shows, there was the videos, and shout out to Michael Jackson, because he's the one that really showed how genius videos could be in terms of marketing the music. Videos became a staple at that time of being able to really sell the music. When we think about Dr. Dre's Nothing But a G Thing, I mean, that was, and the Chronic album was hard, but it was never something was like, we just gonna go out and we have fun to it. Nobody was gonna pull a drive out, nobody. We didn't worry about that in the 90s.
But see, you gotta look at it right now. Right. So you gotta look at it right now, man. Like, the people were all so different. Everybody's so damn sensitive and damn angry now. They'll decode every little bar, every single song, every single melodic hook. The world is different now for the worst part, and people are just extra sensitive.
Yeah, super sensitive.
But man, when we think about some of those albums that came out back in the day, we're like, and I guess that's why
these people have a mental health heart attack, man. All in one. This is some of the stuff we used to bump.
And I'm like that, but you got to think about it when you listen. And yes, I'm gonna say these albums. I'm gonna say these artists on air. When we think Lil' Kim, and God, we love that queen from Brooklyn. When we look at Lil' Kim's hardcore album, you can't compare it with Sexy Red. I mean, that's that's two different albums in terms that Sexy Red and Kim are two different artists, and Kim was never over the top like Sexy Red was.
Yeah.
You know.
I ain't gonna. Yeah. If you, this is what I be talking about. How you can't compare eras because for her time in that era, she kind of was what Sexy Red is. Not what she is, but kind of rapping how she was for this era. You have to remember this era's hella out there, you know, being gay is accepted, you know, all types of things that have never been like back in the 90s. So if you put it in perspective of, and she kind of was, she kind of was, you know, because Lil Kim was kind of like, it was like eat my pussy back then was like, oh my God, like what did she?
That was because we never heard it from a woman say it like that.
Yeah. So like Sexy Red being like eat my pussy, get my, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, it's like if we put it in perspective, it's kind of like the same shit, you know. Except for Lil Kim was actually really good at rapping.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think that plays a key role on how a lot of that stuff in the '90s, even though the content never changed, because you know, money, sex, drugs, and violence has always been the topic going forever.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
it's just that the level that is being delivered and the entertainment value is more so upheld to a standard back then versus now in a way. And there's still guys out there like you, like yourself, still doing it in a high caliber fashion. You still got a lot of the guys coming in. It's just that hip hop is not really, it's more so under a more microscope now. Because now we, just like you said earlier, got all these other people that don't even listen to our shit, criticizing it, decoding it. And that plays
hate that too, by the way.
Man, look.
I hate how they gatekeep our culture. This is our shit, like, and we don't run no parts of it. Like we probably holding on to maybe like 2% of hip hop, maybe 5%. You know what I'm saying? If we really gonna give it a lot, maybe 10. But 10% of anything ain't shit. I don't give a fuck what we talking about.
Look, when Buju Banton was on Drink Champs, when David Banner was on Drink Champs, they said the same thing about the culture, about how we let it get away from us.
Yeah, a lot of sellout niggas, but also the culture, people think that the industry is so big and it's so this and it's so, there's like 4 niggas running the whole industry. And they all are in tune with what each other knows. So they all know. So they already know who they gatekeeping, who they not letting in, who's in already, who will be let in because they're willing. They're willing. You know what I'm saying? It's like people think it's like this complex network of all these people. And no, it's like 4 niggas. It's like 4 niggas that run hip hop. And it's like you know, you got the other niggas that got the bags, you know, like the Mark Rubens and the, you know, the other niggas. But it's like the people who run that shit, who make the choices and make the decisions and shit, it's like 4 people.
Yeah, and when we think about the power brokers in the game, there's always going to be those that are going to green light what's going to get out there. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
But I think that's also something to where, but I'm also going to hold our community culpable as well. And I preface this by saying I'm not going to say nothing disrespectful, and I don't want anybody to take it as this. But the thing is, if we know a lot of it is trash, why are we entertaining it?
I feel like we're not. I feel like because like now, if you know about how they run social media, for instance, right? You know, it's basically like 70% bots, might even be 80% now. And bots are on there arguing with other bots and creating, you know, world wars and tensions and all this other shit. And it's like regular people are jumping on to try to help the not known bot. And they're not even realizing they're fueling a fire that has been started by the enemy. You know what I'm saying? It's on some Trojan horse shit. So it's just like
I like that
we gotta start gatekeeping our shit. We can lock them out. You know what I mean? We don't gotta go in there. We can start a party over here in this backyard right here, or over in this parking lot. You know what I mean? And say, hey, y'all can't come in. You know what I mean? We run it. We own it. We are the creative minds. All we gotta do is just say we not fucking with y'all and literally just turn our backs. You know what I mean? I don't think most of these artists, especially the ones that are on labels and shit, I don't think they're actually popping how they say, because I noticed factually, because I know two specific artists that were signed to Def Jam. I ain't gonna say their name or whatever. And when they were on Def Jam, they were popping. They were doing their thing. And it's like they got dropped from Def Jam, and all of a sudden your numbers look like mine. That tells me everything I need to know. You were just getting the machine circle jerk. You know what I mean? And after you weren't a part of the machine no more, they dropped you, they kicked you to the curb. You not telling me, Chris Crack, if I'm signed to a major label, G, I don't give a fuck if I move to goddamn it Istanbul, goddamn it. I'm gonna have every fan that I made is coming with me. You feel me? They gonna have to Tupac me, or they gonna have to, you know what I mean? Because I'm bringing all the fans with me. So you not telling me you doing $1 million numbers and they drop you, and now you not even hitting 1,000. Like, nah, bro, that was fake. Them was fake numbers.
The math ain't math. Then
math ain't never math.
We talked about this on the show. Yeah, go ahead.
When they introduced streaming, like, people don't realize. I think streaming was a ploy by them to
keep cooking,
to be able to boost the numbers up. Because if the numbers ain't if I can control the numbers, then it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? When they were dropping hard copies, they had to specifically go to the Best Buy. They had to go to the record shop. They had to go to the Target. And they had to buy, you know, they would go and buy up the whole rack and be like, oh, it's sold out. Look, it's sold out. But it's just one of the record executives' assistant that he gave him, here's $1,000. Go buy all the CDs off the shelf. You know what I mean? It's all a marketing thing against it's like marketing against marketing against marketing.
That's a great point, because when we think about that was the rumor, and I preface this saying rumor, I'm not saying this is fact. That supposedly was a rumor with Ashanti's album on Def Jam.
Yeah.
Which I have, and it was a great album. I loved her first album. But supposedly, like, they bought like a whole bunch of copies and they bought a whole bunch of copies in advance and then gave them out as promos, but they were still able to pass those off as actual sales once they bought them. But you're not wrong, because when we look at how the marketing is with streaming, once again, I'm going to shamelessly promote the show we did with Young Con the Don from Kansas City some years back, and he broke down those numbers about how little artists actually get, and everybody.
You get pennies.
And people got fooled into thinking, because the facilitation of efficiency of, okay, you're going to stream it, it's wider platforms. I get it, you want your music to be heard, but how much are you going to get paid off of this? At least with a hard copy, you can negotiate directly with a label that is released on it. Even if it's 50 cents a record, you negotiated 50 cents. Because for those that know the history of the industry, if you I think Whitney and Mariah, I think they were getting like $1 or $2 per record sold, which is like,
and that was
great.
Insane.
Yes, and when you think about how many records they were selling during that time, I digress. So when you're looking at it now, you're dealing with artists that just want to get the music out, but they don't necessarily look at what they're going to really be compensated for. And in the name, and this is why we have always preached on this show about buying the physicals, because especially with how they decide if you say something they don't like. I mean, look at Ice Cube with No Vaseline when he said the line, because you let a Jew break up my crew. And then without YG did the song Meet the Flockers. Yeah, and they pulled that from the streaming because YG had a song in Meet the Flockers. He had a line about the Asians, about robbing an Asians family.
It could pretty much suppress creative control.
Right. And even then, just with some of these albums, I don't think a lot of 3 6 Mafia stuff is on streaming because you have to look at the lights. Yeah. So it's like I tell anybody, don't fall for the trap that they give you, that if they're willing to give it to you in a sense of quote unquote free, you know it's going to be expensive on the price you pay for it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And that price might be something crazy. That price might be something you can't never get back.
Nah.
But going back to you for a second, man, like when I'm looking at some of your visuals, they look very sharp and well shot. Do you do your own visuals?
Absolutely.
My videos?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
No, I don't do them. I just be fucking with, I be fucking with these young artists, man, that's trying to get a name, man.
How important is it for you as an artist to give that outlet to young creatives like yourself to where y'all both can build and do it together?
It's like my whole thing, bro. I believe in giving people, doing things for people that I couldn't beg. I'm talking about on my knees beg a nigga to do for me. I like to just tell a nigga, yeah, I got you, bro. You know what I mean? I feel like you're supposed to be the role model you didn't have.
Man, that's dope, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to find ways to give people opportunity, man, because everybody, especially in this game here, man, a lot of people in this game, they always want to say, yeah, we're going to do this for you, do that for you. But it's the opposite behind closed doors. So sometimes you just got to find it up and coming.
Yeah. Yeah, man, fucking with niggas that's already like on, quote unquote, it's like it almost ain't never gonna work. You gotta find somebody hungry coming up that's willing to work, that ain't trying to charge an arm and a leg because they understand that money's not real. You know what I mean? So it's like them be the most creative minds too. The niggas that got a bag and shit and they think they own and shit, they not doing nothing, man. Them niggas don't be on nothing and they work ethics suck.
What do people have to understand from your experience about what this means to put in the hard work and the dedication and commitment to make it happen?
You said what do they have
to understand? Because what do people have to understand about the work that's put in to become successful? That this is not an easy right.
They have to understand that, like, man, you might be working 10 years and not make $1. And you have to be okay with that. Not necessarily like accept it like on some like, oh, I'm just not gonna make any money, but you have to know that that's a possibility and you have to be okay with that being a possibility. You know what I'm saying? You can't be one of them niggas that think I'm gonna put this single out tomorrow and I'm gonna blow up. You're gonna be looking real shitty, my nigga. I'm letting you know right now, you're gonna be looking crazy tomorrow.
I mean, and that's facts. When we think about it, for examples, I mean, we look at No Limit. No Limit started in 1990 in the Bay Area with Master P. Yeah. And it took P like 5 years before he really went national. Same thing with E40 out in Vallejo, Sick with a Record. Shout out to him, D-Shot, Sugar T, Be Legit, the whole clique, all of them, Droopy. It took them like, Sprinkle Me was the first track for them, that really blew up nationally, and then people knew about E40. I mean, when you think about Cash Money in 1990, it took them 8 years to go national.
Yeah.
And
and you gotta remember, them niggas had teams. Them niggas that back then, you had a whole marketing team, you had a road manager, you had a manager, you had an accountant, you had this, you had everything back then. Like you had a lawyer, now it just be you and maybe two of your friends, you know what I'm saying, doing everything.
Plus the labels. Plus the labels back then, they used to do a lot of that front work for you. And so at the time, that was the reason why it was inspiration to be signed, because they would cover all that hard work.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, they don't give a damn.
Now they just want to get you when you already on, basically, and they can just put a little money behind you and just blow you up. Basically, they're not really helping you at all. They're just coming around when you already got it type shit. It's like, that's why niggas be hollering, fuck the label. Cause you weren't there when I needed you. You came when I'm already got the looks. I'm on tour. I'm fucking all the hoes now. I'm doing everything I want. I got cars. I got money. I don't need a label.
And then also too, Chris, you got to think about it too. They, with them 360 deals, they want, back in the day, tour and merch money. That was yours if you were an artist. Yeah. And now these labels, they want to sign you, and then they want a piece of that too.
Yeah. Yeah, man. They want a piece of everything, man. A piece of everything, if you know what I'm saying.
The 360s is a trip, man. Like, they take a little bit of your touring, they take a little bit of your merch, a little bit of your sales.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
What have you found in terms of being able to interact with your fans, Chris, and really talking to them and interacting and seeing how your music has really touched them and inspired them?
Man, my fans are cool as fuck, man. They understanding. They know that niggas got real lives and that this rap shit is fake, and just all of the above, man. My fans, the crackheads, man. Shout out to all the crackheads, bro. They some down to earth motherfuckers. They fuck with me. They just they get it. You know what I mean? They really get it. And I wouldn't be nowhere without them. You know what I'm saying? I hate niggas that get on and be like, fuck they fans and shit. Like, all my fans are weird, fuck them, it's like, that's crazy, that's insane. That's like dissing your mama after she birthed you.
You can't disrespect your face.
You know what you said, Chris, resonates about the fact of having a real life. What do artists have to understand in terms of, the fans have to understand about artists that, at the end of the day, these are real people with real feelings, and that, they are, they're subject to having to go through things too.
I didn't quite get the question all the way.
In terms of how fans may sometimes not understand, like when sometimes, and it's not blowing your fans off, but it's like when, you may not necessarily, like when they see you in public, or they may get a little bit try to get too familiar with you, or this, that, and the other. And how you, what do they have to understand about boundaries? I guess it's a balance of fans understanding boundaries, but artists also understanding how to interact and how you both make it work where everybody feels acknowledged and respected.
You gotta have, like you said, you gotta have boundaries, and I feel like they know your boundaries by what type of music you have.
I like that. I like that answer.
I feel like people kind of put it together on their own, and they kind of get it, like, okay, he wouldn't be cool if I ran up and hugged him, you know what I'm saying? But then that's also judging a book by its cover, because the hardest nigga be like, hey, I give hugs, you know what I'm saying? So It's just like, I feel like they kind of read through the lines, as much as they possibly can. Like, I kind of come off, people say that I'm unapproachable, but when people meet me, they be like, you cool as hell. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you just gotta roll with it, G. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta show love to the people who made you, bro. I can't stand a person that shit on the fans, bro. You don't deserve them fans. They should give them to me.
Hey, look, we'll take your millions of fans and subscribers.
Absolutely.
You feel me? Like, I will take them gladly, and I'm gonna treat them right though.
Also, too, for you being an artist, the levels of mental health and well-being and keeping and staying underexposed, meaning not putting all your business out there. What do artists have to understand about that as well? Pacing yourself and not letting everybody in your business.
You gotta like we live in a fake ass world, right? And one of the worst things you can do is be your real self in a fake world. So it's like especially when we talking art and music and like social media and shit. Like I learned a minute ago, like your biggest mistake is being real on a fake platform, because you just look dumb. You know what I mean? Why you on here? You ain't never seen nobody post an eviction notice on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? You ain't never seen nobody post man, I can't eat today on Instagram. You know what I mean? And as you shouldn't. That's not what it's for. So like when people try to mix the two worlds, like with anything, you try to mix the street with the suburbs. You try to mix the good school with the bad school. You try to mix the good kid with it don't work. It'll never work. It's two different worlds. They're not supposed to mesh. You know what I'm saying? They're not supposed to go together. And I feel like a lot of artists try to be street in the office. You know what I'm saying? Or be too like be stoners and it's like it's time to do a business meeting type shit. You know, that's where you fuck up your bag and you fuck up your artistry, I feel like.
Yeah. This is important. What you said is absolutely correct. And this is from a place of maturity and wisdom, of which we all three of us have an abundance. And I want our listeners to really understand what we're trying to convey here. People, what they see online are going to, like Chris said, that's how they're going to read you. And when you put things out there, don't put anything out there that people are going to interpret as a certain thing. If you put out violence, that's what this is the law of attraction. You put out violence, you're going to attract negative outcomes.
Yeah.
You don't need to post money. You don't need to post where you're shopping.
Get robbed.
Exactly. You don't need to post what kind of car you're driving. You don't need to post up the trip unless you got back home and you're posting other pictures. This is the thing about understanding real life, real responsibilities, and safety. And too many times now, we have to put this in context, y'all. You're an artist, actively working one, and one who is doing things to ensure you're successful. You got people who are not even artists, still trying to show off, trying to live that life. And I'm like, for what? How are you marketing? I'm like, my man Chris Pratt, it's his job to promote himself as an artist. If you're not living that life as an artist or a celebrity, my thing is, why do you need to post up everything? Why do you need to talk about that nigga you don't like and you're gonna blast him when you see him? What does it prove?
It doesn't prove anything, and it's just people, capping. You know what I mean? Because if you're gonna do something, then do it. Don't talk about it. That goes for anything. Don't talk about it. Just do that shit. And the people who talking about it ain't doing it, and most likely won't do it.
Everybody talks that tough shit until they realize lawyers are expensive and nobody wants to go to prison.
Yeah, right.
and the process for somebody who has seen some stuff out there, I tell people, before you think about getting out there making threats, outside the fact you might get killed for it, depending on who you're threatening, threats online can be grounds for arrest if they feel that it's if they feel that it is credible. But secondly, if you get arrested, you got to look at a legal process. They're going to bring you in. They're going to interrogate you. You're going to have to get a lawyer. If you don't have one, you got to get a public defender. And then if you go to trial for something, people don't understand. All that stuff is expensive. That costs money. You know, and it can damage your reputation as well, where some artists can use that as an advantage. For some people, that can be, I mean, look what happened to Taxstone with Troy Ave and how he got out there with that beef, and look what happened to Taxstone.
Yeah, that was some goofy shit though, man. That was some goofy capping shit, man. I ain't got a lot to say about it because I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I'll say he was stupid. That was stupid as hell, and he deserved everything that came with it.
But yeah, but it's like, yeah, but that's the whole point about it. You may have problems with an individual, but my thing is, you actually run up in there with a gun, they catch the whole thing on video, and you kill somebody in the process. He killed somebody. And it's like, this was really nothing between him and Troy. That wasn't even a situation that really should have even escalated. I'm like, dude, you went in there with an intent to kill Troy. I'm like,
yeah,
for what?
And even if it was like a protection thing, like, hey, I just had it to protect myself. It's like you're going to a place where you know this person may or may not be.
Right,
you got a gun on you. That's already stupid. It's law of attraction. You asking for it. You asking to have to use it. So the universe gonna make you have to use it. See if you really about that shit you talk about.
How have you avoided all of that type of drama?
Man, because I don't talk about it. If I'm gonna do something to you ain't gonna know. I'm just one of them I bet type niggas. I don't, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna talk about it. Just a couple rappers I'm gonna slap when I see them. Like, I swear to God, it's one little short rapper. When I see him, I'm gonna stomp his little ass. And it's like, I'm not ever gonna talk about it. You ain't never gonna hear me talk about. I'm gonna talk about it after I do it. But it's like, you know, it's like, hey man, you ain't gotta talk about something, you know, that's already what it is.
Got you.
Yeah, ain't gotta be no talk, just action.
Yeah, for sure.
Who in the game have you seen that you want to work with?
I don't know if you mean seen physically or just.
Well, who would you like to work with out there? Who would you like to work with?
I want to work with I said this on another podcast. I want to work with Polo the Don, man. I want to work with like Timbaland. I want to work with like I don't know, man. I'm on the spot, so you know you can't think of everything. But you know, like bigger art. I'd like to work with Lady Gaga. Shit, I'd like to work with
she's talented.
You said her earlier, Madonna. You know what I mean? I want to make some really, really, really big pop, like Flow
Doja Cat. We got to get you with Doja Cat.
Doja, you know what I'm saying? I've always loved Doja, man. She started doing some kind of weird shit the last couple years, but I always loved Doja, man. I was putting niggas on Doja back in the day.
Yeah, she's a unique spirit, but Doja, if you listening,
you gotta be Doja. You gotta be Doom Ship proof though.
Yeah.
We're not gonna hit her that hard with it on air, but Amala is talented. For those that haven't picked up her new album, it's incredible. Tell this project that you got, Chris. Tell us about it and what was the process behind doing that.
We worked on the album for a couple years, you know, just chipping away at it. It wasn't like we was working hard for 3 years, but just chipping away at it. Just picking, just batch after batch after batch after batch of music, and they just picking out the dopest ones they want to use. The real reason why it took that long, I'm guessing, is because they didn't really want to clear samples. You know, clearing samples is a bitch.
It is.
You know, it costs a lot of money. So they like,
yeah,
look, we rather not have to clear these samples if we don't have to, type shit. And I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm not blaming them. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was really what took so long, because I had an album when I first signed. I'm like, yeah, I got this album right here ready to go. And they like, well, we don't want to clear no samples though. So, you know, it was just like batch after batch after batch. They would pick a couple songs from each batch, because, you know, my shit is mostly sample based. So they would always pick the couple ones that didn't have a sample, or that had a cleared sample.
Mm-hmm.
And
how many songs?
Yeah, man.
How many songs did you have going in?
Go ahead.
How many songs? I mean, I had a whole record ready for them.
Got you. Okay.
But going in, I probably had 100 songs. You know, I probably presented them with about 200-300 songs.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
okay.
Man, that's light work, man. I'm doing that. You know, I'm doing more than that every year. Like I'm doing at least 365 songs a year. You know what I mean? I'm doing probably 500-700 type shit, and you only gonna hear like 100 of them bitches. You know what I mean? I just be working, bro. I don't do nothing but music. I don't have a hobby. I don't go outside. I don't be fucking around. I just do music.
Yes, indeed, man. And you know, we about to wrap it up, because we almost reaching that closing period.
Yes, sir.
And before we wrap it up, can you do us a small favor and give us like a shout out? Because thekali.com, they're gonna kill me if I don't, man. So you can give us like Off the Cuff Radio and the Kali. You know, you give us a little quick shout out.
Yeah, man. Shout out Off the Cuff Radio, man, for having your boy, man, the Robert Townsend of rap, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all for having me on, man. This was dope as hell. We should do it again.
We will.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all some cool niggas, man. I fuck with y'all. Where y'all from? I was gonna ask y'all. Y'all sound like y'all from the DMV.
I'm in North Carolina. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina. T-Max, he's in VA.
Okay, yeah. See, I knew one of y'all was from around that area, cause I could see how y'all pronounce now. Y'all now. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I knew y'all was from over that area, man. I fuck with y'all, man.
Oh, definitely.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, we definitely clicked in, man, and we gonna definitely get a part 2 lined up whenever you have the chance. We were lined up again, just probably in the spring, whatever you got something new release. We definitely gonna keep in touch.
Yeah, G, I got a couple albums lined up already for this year. I got a couple collab albums I'm doing, because I'm producing my own shit fully now. So I got some collab shit coming. We'll do it, you know what I'm saying? I'll keep y'all in tune. We'll do it either before or after I release one of them projects. We'll do some shit.
Absolutely. Chris, this has been an absolute pleasure, an honor. Keep working out there. Keep glowing with your genius and fertilizing the world with the freshness. You are the rain, the flowers show that the rain is needed, like you said in your rhymes. Dude, thank you for all of that, and keep shining and sunning on all the frauds and fakes, man. Thank you again.
Man, thank you, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all be cool.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back next week. Same time, same channel.
Yes, sir.
Peace, y'all. Later.
Peace.